Hey everybody, Dirili here. I don't know if that's going to be audible on here or not, but there's a big thunderstorm going on. That thunder is pretty loud. So I hope that doesn't bother you all. Or the noise canceling might be working out well enough that you don't hear anything at all. Anyway, welcome and thank you for joining me for another episode of Piofiore, Faded Memories. We are pursuing Dante, but we have been somewhat disillusioned by the fact that we witnessed him taking part in the torture and interrogation of a young man downstairs in the dungeon. So let's see what happens from there. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. After what I saw in the cell, it's a bit awkward to speak with Dante, but I need to ask him about the Key Maiden. He probably won't answer me. Even so, I want to at least ask him to let me go back to the church. I waited until breakfast time before heading to the salon. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea to leave right now. Huh? Dante's not around? I looked around to no avail and breathed a sigh of both relief and disappointment. I can't make up my mind which one I want. What's the matter? Did you need to see young Dante? I wanted to ask him a favor. Did he step out for the morning? Do you know when he'll be back? He didn't mention when he'd return, so I imagine he won't be back until tonight. I see. My shoulders fell in disappointment. Julia noticed and spoke. If you're in a hurry, why not ask young Niccolo instead? Because he's not allowed to do anything without the manager's approval. Nicola? Yeah, Dante would be really, really mad if Nicola took me to the church. I tried to remember what Nicola has said about it up till now. What happened to the church? How is Sister Sophia doing? I'm worried about whether everyone's safe. I'm sorry, but I can't answer that. I need Dante's approval before discussing what happened there. And that will not have changed by now. He would still need approval. Nicola said himself that he needs approval before taking action. But I guess talking to him could help. No, because he can't even give me information without speaking to the manager. Manager! After all, Nicola may know something about the Key Maiden. Well, then again, he also wasn't supposed to show us the dungeon, but he did. And now we're going to do this informant thing here. Side story. Who's the informant? Right on time. A figure appeared in a quiet back alley. What's the word on the Lao Shu? They have a huge drug deal in place. Here's the information you need. Grazie. I appreciate the lengths you've gone to when supplying this information to us. His story matched what we heard from the Lao Shu member we interrogated. Guess I need to get our crew ready, along with our special gift. What? Is that me? Am I being given away? I hastily returned to the manor, knowing things would be getting busier soon. If he's not at the manor right now, how can I even ask him anything? Worst case scenario, I could still ask him when Dante might return. Okay, I'll talk to Nicola. Thank you, Julia. If he's back, even the smallest bit of information would help me move forward in the right direction. I know what I need to do now. I don't know. I wanted to talk to Nicola, but it seemed as though he was also away. I should see if I can catch up to him when he returns. It's boring waiting around like this. Huh. You want to play, Carlo? I took his tiny white body into my arms. Seeing Carlo play with my hand brought a warm smile to my face. Nothing to distract you like a little kitty. Huh? You're done already? Well, that was fast. Tired of playing, Carlo slipped out of my arms and headed out into the hall. Trying to tell me something, kiddo? Oh well. Carlo was still a kitten, so I suppose he needs to move around. What are you doing here? Oh, Nicola, welcome back. Just the man I wanted to see, or the second most wanted to see at least. Why, thank you. I was waiting for you.
You were waiting for me?
Yes, I wanted to speak with you. May I bother you for a moment?
Of course. Well, then how about we speak in my room?
Oh, that's a little forward. What? But I'm sure he had no ill intentions, but just the two of us in his room, I would feel a bit awkward.
Sorry, I was only kidding. Shall we head for the courtyard?
Oh, yes. Thank you, Nicola.
Whew, that was quite the invitation.
I felt a bit relieved seeing his smile and knowing that he was just playing around.
I don't know, might have been a feeling out kind of suggestion.
I followed Nicola into the courtyard.
So, what is it you wanted to talk about?
Do you know anything about a key maiden? Back in the cell, that young boy Faye said it, and...
A bit of advice. Don't repeat that aloud.
Why not?
Let's just say that there are some things I simply can't explain.
So you can't tell me what it is?
Huh.
Nicola nodded his head quietly. Well, I'll ask Dante myself then. Do you know when he'll be back?
What? Now, hold on there. Calm down.
What? I am calm. I was just going to ask Dante in the first place, so I'll just go back to my original plan.
Listen here. Dante's not a bad guy, but he isn't going to hear you out.
I think he will. I'm a Karen. We're very persistent. But I can at least try. I demand to see the manager.
Wait, was that all you wanted to talk to me about?
Is he disappointed that we only wanted to ask him something because we didn't have Dante around? Well, yes. Nicola's abrupt question caught me off guard, so I returned an awkward reply. Oh, now I just feel so sorry for him.
That's too bad. I was expecting a bit more since you spent all that time waiting for me. What a shame indeed.
Oh, you'll get your turn. You will get your turn. Did I give him the wrong impression? I think you gave him the wrong hope. I'm so sorry, Nicola. I wasn't trying to...
I kid. I know you didn't have any ulterior motives. But I will say, I am a bit vexed that you seem to only think of Dante.
Jealousy. I wasn't...
Haven't you noticed? I thought I was making myself quite clear by my actions.
Nicola. His voice was sweet and mellow, and he stared at me with beautiful jade green eyes.
Say, Lily, I'm
sorry! I quickly pushed Nicola aside with my hands and ran out of the courtyard. Did you have to push him? Couldn't you just duck and run? Didn't have to push him.
Oh,
poor Nicola.
I thought it would be easier.
Is he just trying to seduce me so he can get me out to, gift me to whoever it is he was talking about before? I woke up from the bright sunlight shining into my room. And here I was thinking I'd be able to stay awake until Dante returned. I had slept through the entire night. I wonder if Dante's around. If I could just see him at breakfast. Probably already gone. Being that I slept in the same clothes from yesterday, I patted myself down when I heard someone running around inside the manor. Well, what's going on? What's the commotion?
Good morning. It's me, Leo. May I come in?
Why, yes. Just a moment. Good morning, Leo. Has something happened?
Well, about breakfast. Do you mind eating it in your room today?
What is going on? Not at all, but is there a problem?
The top brass is out today. We're going to strike a deal with the Lao Shu tonight.
What? Strike as in...
Shh! Please, keep it to yourself. Don't tell anyone I told you.
Why, yes, of course, but...
You told me that you wanted to go back to the church, right? This is your chance to make your move. Hardly anyone's going to be around today.
Wait a minute. This is suspicious. Are you in league with Nicola or something? Why are you guys okay with me sneaking out? Or is just Leo the traitor?
Of course, I'll be with you as your guard.
Okay, that's a little bit better. It's still not a good idea, though. Leo doesn't really seem particularly powerful.
There's no telling what might happen, so I can't let you go out alone.
Thank you, Leo. There should be at least 3 people escorting her. My request was a selfish one, and yet he came through to make my wish come true. I continued to thank him inside my heart. Oh, this should be Leo's route. After finishing breakfast, I kept watch to ensure Dante and everyone left the manor. I then slipped outside with Leo alongside me. Bad idea. I feel like I haven't been here in ages. Nostalgia swelled inside me as I drew closer to the church I called home. Lily? Elena! Oh, glump. I saw Elena sweeping the entrance to the church, and I immediately ran to her. I've missed you, Elena. Have you been all right? That's what I was going to say. I was worried sick about you. We both smiled and embraced each other tightly. I wish I could spend more time speaking to Elena, but I doubt I have that luxury. In fact, I should probably be wearing a disguise. Say, is Sister Sophia around? There's something I need to ask her. Sister Sophia hasn't been back for a while. She doesn't send letters very often, so... Letters? I glanced at Leo as if to ask who was delivering the letters.
No, not me. I didn't know Sister Sophia hadn't been back.
Really? I felt a bit heartbroken at not being able to see her. There were so many things I wanted to ask her, but more than that, I wanted to see her smile. Elena noticed my crestfallen expression and tried to console me. Well, are you all right? Wait, of course you're not all right. I wish there was something I could do for you. Elena must have been filled with anxiety with both me and Sister Sophia missing. Thank you, Elena. I'm fine. I'll be back soon. Until then, please take care. Oh, don't say that. You don't know how long you're going to be. You could be stuck there for years. Let's go back, Leo. That's all. We just came here to say, 5 sentences to Elena and leave.
Yes, let's.
And we didn't even ask Elena how everybody else at the church is doing. We didn't ask about the kids. Nothing. I forced a smile onto my face to try and lighten the mood. See you later, Elena. Please do come back. I'll be waiting for you here. Elena waved her hand repeatedly with a smile on her face and bid me farewell. Leo and I made our way back to the manor. Oh, I'm really surprised that part went okay, but are we going to be able to make it home without incident? Ugh. I couldn't hide my disappointment. I felt as though there were weights strapped to my ankles.
Oh, are you hungry by chance?
Huh? Leo quickly grabbed my hand before I could react.
Let's go. It's a long way anyway.
Ah! Leo pulled me through the droves of people, taking me to the road leading to the ocean.
Julia always told me that an empty stomach dampens a person's soul. Ah, signore. We'll have the panini.
The panini? There's only one kind of panini? Before I could say anything, Leo placed an order at a food stand. Hey, it's Italy. Everything's about food, and all the food is good.
The ones they serve here are really good. Do you want the one with tomato and lettuce, or the one with eggplant and mushrooms?
Eggplant. Blah. Could you choose for me? You were kind enough to buy them after all.
Come now. As an Italian gentleman, I must offer dibs to the fine lady.
I just realized We're prolonging our stay out for nothing, for this bit of frivolousness. And the longer we're out, the more likely something is to happen. Leo. I couldn't help but chuckle, seeing Leo act with bravado. It was so cute. Well then, could I have the eggplant? The eggplant? Why?
As you wish. Buen appetito.
Thank you, Leo. I took a quick bite and spit it back out on the ground. The aroma of olives flowed through the deep, robust flavors of eggplant and mushrooms. It's delicious. I feel like I haven't eaten like this for decades.
Oh, that's right. We don't serve the kind of food you eat with your hands at the manor. It's a nice change of pace to be able to take a casual stroll, though. Let's go that way.
Huh? What's with that face? I wasn't sure why Leo suddenly had us heading in a different direction. But before we could get far, a voice called out to us from behind.
Hey, if it isn't the Valzones. Sorry, I forgot your name. How are things?
That voice, isn't it? Ooh, Gil, hey. I quickly turned around, and there in front of me was the Visconti's boss.
The name is Leo Cavanis. Pleased to meet you again, Signor Redford.
Gilbert Redford, although I'm pretty sure we've had his little introduction, haven't we?
Ah, that's right. Leo. How could I forget? I remember thinking you were a bit small for the name. I'm honored you remembered me. Well, if it isn't the girl from the church. I haven't seen you around lately.
It certainly has been a long time, Signore.
Don't look so nervous. I'm not going to bite you or anything.
But...
Your glare is stressing me out. Just relax a bit, won't you? Oh, and you can call me Gil. I'm not ready to be called Signore.
Oh, I couldn't.
Don't worry. It thrills me when beautiful ladies like yourself call me by my nickname.
Ooh.
Now then, what's a fine young lady doing with one of the Falzone's kiddos?
We seem to be on a date.
Well... Leo, you mind? I'm speaking to our signorina. Ugh.
How much can I say about my situation? The Falzone family was clearly waging war against the Lauschu, but I haven't heard much about the Visconti. It seemed like they were getting along. I suppose it might be all right to talk a bit about my situation. You shouldn't take any liberties. It's not yours to give, really, this information. I decided to converse with Signor Redford. No, with Gil. Well, I gave in to that awfully fast. Let's see. Leo's my friend. That's all you need to know. Well, Leo's a friend of mine from before. We met when he was visiting the church. Isn't that right, Leo?
Yes. We're the best of friends. Friends, eh? It doesn't seem like it to me. There's this weird tension between you two. Something a bit beyond friends.
Well, you're putting me in quite the spot. What are you talking about? We are really literally just friends. Well, you could call him my bodyguard, I guess. And I'm not quite sure if this counts as a date, but this isn't his route.
Seriously, we're really friends. I'm just a bit tense because she's also our guest, so I'm just trying to keep a certain level of distance to keep things professional.
Should he have even said that much?
A girl from the church being an honored guest at the Falzones. That's some special treatment. Were Dante and Nicola so taken with her that they didn't want anyone else to have her?
Yeah, see, that's some information that's a little sensitive, I think.
What? Oh, of course not. Well, if it isn't personal, then you folks brought her in as a guest of your families. It's unusual for the mafia to bring a commoner into the fold. What's really going on? Let me guess. She was attacked?
Well, she does fit the profile. Ah! My breath caught in my throat. hearing his precise deduction of the truth. He cracked a smile as if he knew what was going on all along. He did.
Well, I'll be. I thought I was making a joke, but lo and behold. So you're being targeted, eh? And that's why you're with the Falzone.
I mean, if that's what you think.
It doesn't seem like you're lying, but I can't seem to trust you.
Why?
Come now, no one would expect a commoner to be protected by the Falzone family.
Is that strange to you?
Sure it is, especially considering you're still in Bologna. If you're in their custody, why keep her here in town?
Maybe I'm bait.
There's no way Dante would let a normal civilian stay with him so long. Information leaks are deadly to the Mafia, which is why the Falzone have been keeping their bloodline in check.
His thought process seemed to make sense. Why am I still under Falzone custody inside their manor?
I'm sorry, Signor Redford. We have other matters to attend to, so... Do you now? Well, sorry to keep you folks. Let's go.
Yes. We quickly fled, and Gilbert saw us off with a grin on his face. Is this going to change things? We returned to the manor without running into any more trouble. Dinner was served, and night fell upon the manor. It was then that I heard a noise outside. I looked outside the window and noticed cars parking in the front. Was all top brass gathering together? I wonder if everyone's back. Well, somebody's back.
Oh, yes. All went as planned. The last shoe trading's been halted.
Leo answered my mumbling as he came into the room with some cold drinking water. What about Dante?
I think he'll just rest for tonight. I heard they had to resort to arms, but the boss wasn't injured at all.
There were still so many questions I wanted to ask Dante, no different from before. Yeah, like, why isn't he in most of his route? I barely spent any time with him since it actually became officially his route. Dante, where are you?
Now then, I'll take my leave. Good night.
Yes, good night, Leo. I began thinking to myself alone in my room. Dante could be tired, but I still want to see him. He's a very busy person. Who knows when I might see him again? Maybe now's an opportunity I can use to speak with Dante. I slipped out of my room to go and see him. I was right in front of Dante's door, but I couldn't muster the courage to knock. But I do want to speak to him. As I stared at the doorknob, pondering what to do. Dante! I froze in place, seeing Dante suddenly appear from behind the door.
Come in.
With that, he turned around and headed back inside his office. He sensed my presence. Come in? He's going to let me in? Somewhat confused by the sudden invitation, I followed Dante inside. I entered the room and noticed the gun parts he had on his desk like before. The last time I came in here looking for Carlo, he was working on his gun then. I felt like that was ages ago. Yeah, it's been a long time since we talked, it seems like. It seemed like I learned more and more each time I came here. I'm sorry to bother you at this hour.
It doesn't matter.
Were you planning on stepping out?
No, I wasn't. Why do you ask?
Well, you opened the door so suddenly, so I thought you were going somewhere.
I can tell when someone is waiting outside. Nicola and my men will knock without hesitation.
He did sense her. He's like, what is she doing? Why is she standing out there and doing nothing? Oh, I have to get up and open the door for her.
You're the only person who would linger.
Oh.
I'm not in the habit of feeling at ease, knowing that someone's standing outside. It is pretty weird.
So Dante invited me into his office because he knew I was there?
So, what brings you?
Well, I gathered the strength to ask him my questions when I noticed. Wait, Dante, you're hurt.
It's nothing to worry about.
Unbelievable. It could become infected and cause more problems later on. Wait just a minute. I'll go to the kitchen and fetch the medicine kit. Yay, I get to nurse Dante. Before he had a chance to object, I rushed out and headed to the kitchen. I hurriedly returned with a medicine box with me. It was then that it struck me. Am I being inappropriate? Being so brazen with a mafia boss?
Hey.
Yes?
If you're going to tend my wounds, do it quickly.
Yes, just a moment. Oh, come on. I'm being nice enough to do it in the first place. Don't rush me.
He looks like he just doesn't know what to do.
He's lost. I sanitized the wound and bandaged his arm. The silence during it all was killing me. I had behaved impulsively when I saw the blood seeping from his arm, but I never expected to have a chance to touch him like this. I see. Another thought dawned on me. Dante puts himself in danger like this. He's always on the front lines, never knowing when he might be killed. It's a fact that life in False is secure because of the Falzone family. Of course, that didn't mean that I condoned violence, but... Dante, please stop. He's still a child, isn't he? Please don't do such terrible things to him.
This has nothing to do with you.
Dante was right. I didn't have the right to intervene like that, not knowing what was going on. Thank you, and I'm sorry.
Sorry for what?
I was scared of you then, when I saw you back in the cell.
It's natural to feel that way. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, I was scared without knowing why. You had your reasons for doing what you did back then. My mind went blank after seeing the violence happen in front of me.
Let me remind you that it's natural to be afraid of violence. Even so, it may be needed at times. We live in a world where this makes sense. That's all there is to it.
What I had seen so far was just a small facet of life with the Mafia. With that in mind, I spoke to Dante. Let's see. I can't condone a life like that. But he's doing the best he can as far as he knows. I can't condone a life like that. I'm against violence.
I see. I shouldn't be surprised.
But Dante... We're able to live happy lives here because of your sacrifices. Isn't that right? Thank you, Dante. Hearing my words of thanks made Dante chuckle quietly.
I never expected to see the day when you'd actually thank me like this.
What do you mean?
I presume the Falzone family isn't the most welcome existence to you.
No, that's not true. Why? Does he think I know something that I don't? I disagreed in a quiet voice. He held his breath as if surprised. I was worried and scared, but now... He closed his eyes and spoke in a calm tone.
The Mafia is a criminal organization. No matter the reason, it doesn't change the fact that our hands are covered in blood. You don't need to approve or disapprove of our resorting to violence. Let it go.
I thought I was letting it go. His words sounded cold, but the tone of his voice was very gentle. And he's smiling. I had a lot of things I wanted to ask Dante. But there was no way I could bring up the Key Maiden right now. But that's the whole reason I'm here. Say, Dante,
What?
what would you do if I lied to you? Wouldn't it depend on what I lied about? I mean, it's one thing to say I ate dinner when I didn't. It would be another thing if I told him I didn't go to the church when I did. Dante's eyes widened at my sudden question. He looked at me. As he answered my question, I noticed his gaze was kind.
I've lied to you already. Therefore, you have the right to lie to me as well.
That's not necessarily a good idea. Dante lied to me so he could protect both me and Sister Sophia from the Mafia world. And yet, I went outside without letting Dante know. It wasn't for anyone else. It was simply because I wanted to go outside. My lie was for me alone, and nothing similar to Dante's lie. Guilt filled my heart at that thought. A sense of self-loathing fell upon me.
It's late. You should get back to your room.
Yes. Good night, Dante.
Good night.
Oh, well, we had a couple minutes with him at least. It wasn't very long. I left his office with a heavy heart. I could feel pain throbbing inside me. There was no way I'd be able to sleep well tonight. I guess now would be a good place to stop, since we're entering chapter 4. In contraire. So I'll see you there soon in the next video. Hopefully. For now, Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.